All right, so for warm up today, please open the banana that you traced with the pen tool yesterday for yesterday's warm up. When you have that open, go ahead and scroll over to your toolbar until you find a tool called the mesh tool. It sort of looks like a rectangle with some curvy lines crossing over one another. Click that and hover over your shape. We're going to use this mesh tool to help build some three-dimensional form to our current flat object. So you can see that the cursor changes when you hover over your path, and go ahead and click again. And you can click all along your path. I'm going to back up a little bit because I have these straight lines and I don't really like them. So what the tool is doing is reproducing the path that you have on the very end. And I'm going to use my direct selection tool to hold on to that anchor point. And it looks like it needs actually some handles, so I went over and grabbed another tool from the pen tool, the one that looks like the arrow. Anyway, I'm moving the handle so that this curves down now and sort of makes a sloping path. And it doesn't make that big of a difference to the appearance of the object as it is, but it will make a difference when we go ahead and add our lines with the mesh tool. So now I've grabbed the mesh tool again, and you can see that the lines it's drawing now are a lot different. So I'm going to click and add some lines, and the further that I get to the center, I think the further away from each other I'll make them. And I'll go down to the bottom and add some from here too. And you can see when the curve starts to become more of a vertical line, the lines will go the other way, making a mesh. And you can see it's starting to trace the very top of my shape where I've got that form. I'm going to undo that last one and add one that's a little bit closer. Okay. I'm picky, so I'm going to use my direct selection tool now and just move some of these a little bit. Okay, that's just way too much. All right, so that'll be fine for now. Okay, so you can see already if we just leave this grid as it is that we start to get a little bit of dimension. But we're going to use this to add highlights and shadow. So using your direct selection tool now, zoom in until you can see little white boxes where all of the points intersect. And if I hold down Shift and click, you can see they go from, might have to zoom in really far. Okay, it doesn't change. You can see through these points, and when I click it, it's solid. So basically, I want to select all of the points along one of my horizontal lines near the top, because that is where I will build my highlight. And just follow that up. And that's pretty good. Okay, now I'm going to use my eyedropper tool and select the color that I have. And then over here, you can either do it on your toolbar where you see your color swatch, or if your color window is up like mine, wherever, just double click your color. And we're going to use our current color and just slide it over until we get a lighter version of it. And click OK. And now you can see you have a highlight on your banana. Okay, if you don't like it there, you can put it somewhere else. I might try mine again, another row down. And I think I'll just start it here this time. So I'm holding down Shift and hovering over these white anchor points that turn blue once I click on them. Okay, and I'll just try the same thing. The eyedropper, pull up the color, double click, and slide it over so it's a little bit lighter. Cool. That's interesting. I just clicked my artboard and it grabbed the bright white from that, so now it's like a really bright highlight. But I think I want to keep the one that's a little bit more subtle. And now I have a highlight on my banana. If you want to do the same thing for a shadow, we can use the direct selection tool again. And this time, scroll in, come down to the bottom, and click all of your anchor points here along this edge. That one's already selected. Okay, cool. And I think I'll just grab these along the bottom too. And that's sort of experimental, so I don't know exactly how it will turn out, but we shall see in just a moment. Get a couple more of these guys. Are you lit up? And you. It looks like when I drag the bounding box over it, it deselected the ones that were already selected. So, all right. Okay, so same thing, grab your eyedropper tool and start with your base color. Double click, and this time just go down a little bit. Click OK. And there you go. You have a shadow on your banana. Again, you can play with that some more, so maybe I don't select the bottom one, because I think I would I think it would look a little bit more realistic if it wasn't, if the whole thing wasn't selected at the bottom and instead the shadow sort of got to fade out a little bit. So I guess instead I'll just select the anchor points right above it. Okay, eyedropper tool. And I'll just pull my current color down a little bit. Yeah, that's looking better. Awesome. Okay, great. And then save and upload it to Google Drive. Thanks, everybody. You can put it in the same place as the file you uploaded yesterday.